Good. So would you like to start, Abdul?
Sure. Well, so it's most probably it's afternoon or good morning or evening. Uh, so, well, today we're going to talk about a little bit about professional coaching. Uh, and before getting into that area, I would like to get some sort of overview, what brings you here, and right after that, getting some sort of checking in the environment. I'll give you a little bit background, not staying for long there in that area for myself, and then I'll be pass it to Kuram. Yeah, and my name is Abdul Bhatti. You can call me Abdul Bhatti. You can call me Abdul. So different people call me the different names. So I'm open to be called Abdul, Rauf, or Bhatti. Yeah, I'm professionally. I'm working as a Agile coach in one organization in Canada. I'm certified Ox coach. Ox basically is a platform which helps the coaches to work with the system and relationship. So yeah, so that's the quick overview. Feel free if you want to know a little bit more about me. So you can Slack me or sorry, you can text me on Zoom, or you can reach me out on the LinkedIn profile. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable because it's morning at my side. So I'm just having coffee without breakfast. I'm here. So please be with me if you see like I'm doing something up and down. So it is natural. Yeah. Thank you. Kuram?
Yeah, thanks. Totally fine. Abdul is in Canada, so he's our special guest today. Brief introduction by myself. I'm also ORSC trained coach and a certified team coach from Scrum Alliance. I'm right now working with PayPal in Sweden and co-founder for Pakistan Agile Scrum Exchange. And we have been working together for almost 4 or 5 years to spread awareness of Agile in Pakistan. And today's session is very much focused on how Abdul and I can help the audience. And if you happen to watch this session afterwards, what is a professional coaching and how you can use this skill in your work or in your life as well. Yeah. So that's a brief. And we're more than happy to help any one of you to understand and get to know more information about it. This session will be around 1 hour, and we'll be talking about what is professional coaching, what are the benefits, what type of coaching is there, how to use different skills to do the coaching, and there are a few more other things. Right, so let's get started then. And yeah, what is professional coaching? So as I mentioned at the start of this session, we'll aim to make this session interactive. And what do I mean by that is it won't be Abdul or me only talking, but we'll definitely love hearing from every one of you who have joined. So you can unmute yourself or say it in text in the chat. What is your understanding of professional coaching? What does it mean for you? So the question is, what is professional coaching? What is your understanding for this word? You can unmute yourself. You can write in chat as well. So there is no right and wrong answer. We just want to see what's the understanding in the room.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea for coaching. First time I've attended this class and I'm looking the what's in this ideas, everything, and I'm looking. I have no idea, but I am looking. Then first time I've this class attend. Then first you tell me what I can do, what this thing, then I can do something.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you very much for being very open to tell that you don't know, but you're willing to learn, which is excellent.
Yeah, of course. First time learn what is this
Yes.
coaching now. First time I have all in nothing, everything idea.
Okay.
This then I have done this class and look.
Okay, good is totally fine. It's absolutely fine. Anyone else, if you have come across this professional coaching, nice fancy words? I see you are speaking, but you are muted. So if you can unmute yourself, that will be excellent.
Yes. Sorry. Hello. How are you?
Right, great, good.
I'm also no idea what to do, but I'm my first time in class.
Okay, okay, that's fine, that's fine. So I think, Abdul, we have the right audience, so we can share. All right,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
we can, the professional coaching, there's one more person who's, I think, about to join. So let's welcome him as well. No, I'm having multiple hats presenting and letting people as well. Okay, let's move forward. Professional coaching. Yeah, I think this is from my experience, and I will be happy to hear from what Abdul has to say. There's a lot of misconceptions about coaching. Often the coaching is understood as I will go to a coach and the coach will give me the best solutions in the world and I will just walk away and I'm done. However, that is a kind of it's a misconception. What are your thoughts, Abdul? How have been your experience?
Well, this is pretty much the perception in the around the people when they see they are seeking the professional coach help or consultation. They feel maybe the coach is the one who going to provide some sort of direction, right? How to move forward. You will get the direction, and it is all about the conversation. The coaching is all about how you place your conversation with your partner, within your family, within your system, within your relationship, within your team, and that's a skill which you embrace. So be mindful. The coaching is definitely is something. The coach is the person who gonna help you to holding your finger and letting you to walk him, not rather than the coach will walk you. So that's a slightly difference you will see when you will be interacting a professional coach versus a manager or any other person who you interact in your organization, or the way we communicate to our family or on our relationship. So if you have that sort of skill set, enable or embrace, so your language will speak, your language will change, the word you speak, the communicate, your formulate your question will change. All right, Khurram, is that something you've been expecting? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And these words are always delightful to hear. And Abdul and I also have prepared some kind of a small, improvised session. So let's see how that comes out. But we really look forward that you have built some kind of understanding by end of this session. So moving forward, if we look at the definitions, they're like a lot of interesting resources on there, and usually we refer to the International Coaching Federation. And on the screen, you can see two definitions, and I can read it out if you're not looking at the screen. So coaching is unlocking a person's potential to maximize their own performance, and it is helping them to learn rather than teaching them. Okay, so I think it really put everything together. And the second, and this is a very nice book from a coaching it's also called Coaching Bible, Coaching for Performance. And the next definition is from International Coaching Federation, which is coaching is partnering with a client in thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. Right. So when you're having coaching conversation, so it's not a kind of a meaningless conversation. The conversation is very much goal-oriented. When you are out of that coaching conversation, some action or change of mind needs to happen. So it's not some kind of a child party conversation, but it has some purpose. And the essence behind the coaching is you're really helping someone, a person who is a coachee, to move from one state to another state. It could be a certain challenge. For example, if I am a coachee and I come to my coach Abdul and I have some cognitive load and really want to talk about it, so then the coach can help me to build more awareness around me, what is happening around me, and then empower me with my own conversations to understand, okay, the problem is not bigger. You can manage it through building self-awareness, and the coach brings the process, the coachee brings the content, and the coach helps the person to go from one state to another state. Yeah. Is it making any sense so far? Yeah. But we'll definitely have a demo in a while that will give you some kind of more understanding. The next is the benefits of coaching. So this is from Bersin and from Deloitte. It's one of the big company in the world. So all those, as we mentioned earlier, coaching is a skill. So anyone, let it be manager, let it be leader, let it be scrum master, let it be coach, anyone who has this skill can use it for their own benefit, for the benefit of the teams, and for the benefit of the organization as well. So this is quoted by the organization, the leaders who coach effectively and frequently improve their business result by 21%. So if you are using the coaching skill, using this skill, you can really help your organization to improve results to 21% as compared to those who have never been coached, right? So the benefits are like personal development and the engagement. What do we mean by the personal development is, would you appreciate your manager who helps you to develop your personal development goals, right? Rather than a boss or a manager who comes to you and criticizes you that you can't do these simple things, wouldn't you appreciate your manager who is having a conversation with you? Okay, let's sit down and talk through your challenges, and then I can help you and support you for your personal development. And if that kind of behavior is being demonstrated in the organizations, that leads to retention and engagement as well. So why would I leave a company which is very much interested in developing me? Okay, if your employee is strong, your company is strong. If your employee is not feeling well mentally, then there's something that needs to be addressed, and that leads to retention and team efficiency. So when you do team coaching, the team coaching is very much helping individuals in the team to understand who they are and what differences they have, and how they can use these differences, not differences actually, unique expertise, I would say, in a collective way. So if we take example of development, for example, some people are good at front end, some people are good at back end, some people are good with the Java, some people are good with the Angular. So these are not meant to lead you to a different direction, but this is meant you to become a team and then work together towards your goals. So this can also the team coaching, which I do daily actually in my work. And of course, I'm pretty sure that Abdul is also doing that. And many of you are doing that, as how to help a team moving from unknown individuals to a team. And that leads to actually overall performance. If the teams are motivated, and if you're in that team, you will automatically feel motivated to come every Monday. Otherwise, you will be coming there and not on Monday, waking up late. But this is in brief to help you understand that this is, as this coaching skill, is very much focused on helping the individuals overcome their challenges and look for their personal development. And for organizations, it's a huge benefit. When people are facing certain challenges and they get help within the organization, of course, they will really, really appreciate it, isn't it? Okay, any other thoughts? Anyone else from the room who wants to share something? Yeah.
Well, Khurram, yeah. So let's communicate to the audience. Like, feel free if you want to speak, if you want to ask the question in your the language which you make you comfortable more. Like it could be Urdu, Punjabi, or whatever. So we'll be happy to take the question in that similar way. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Abdul. So we as a coach, we are doing this for the best interest of you who have joined. Have to stick to certain English language because of the context, but you can absolutely feel free to ask your question in Urdu or Punjabi. Abdul speaks excellent Punjabi, so I can assure you that he will be more than happy to answer that. Yeah. All right, so moving forward, so these were some of the benefits. The next one is, what are the types of coaching? So the one is, I think that's fair, the informal coaching. If you have if you have good understanding of the profession coaching skills, you can use this in your daily conversations. And trust me, you can use it in your home, with your friends, with your office, anywhere. I have experienced it's so much powerful, and it's really every day's conversation. And the informal coaching is it is not the next is the formal coaching. I can come to it later. The informal coaching is very much right now the conversation. If someone asks a question, that can happen very instantly. Okay, let's have an informal coaching session, conversation, not a session, but more of a conversation. Example could be if you are a manager or a leader in the team, and your team member comes up and says that, hey, this is not working fine. There are some challenges. So you can quickly put on your coaching hat and start asking certain questions that helps you and your Scrum Master to explore the issues. So you can explore the issue together and then give some, ask some questions which promote more self-awareness. Yeah. The next one is very much of a formal conversation. So the formal conversations happen very much in a one-on-one session, or it could also happen in a team session as a team setting as well. For example, if you have a team who wants to be coached on a certain topic, then it can also be done. But formal coaching session is one-on-one. The client brings up an agenda. The coach helps the client to go through the develop different stages in whatever the coaching model uses, and then at the end come to a conclusion and then take away with some kind of an action point. Yeah. So this is informal and formal coaching. Anything that you want to add here, Abdul?
No, that's beautiful. Like, so yeah, so the formal coaching conversation can happen when you have the defined set of agenda in front of you, and then coach will drive you through to, it could be individual or the team, throughout the whole process, and we'll have some sort of defined action items and the way forward. Compared to the informal is a conversation which can take place anywhere in your life. It could be, if you could be in your relationship, personal relationship, in your home, where you need to communicate with your family, or you are communicating to your team members or your colleagues. So the skill set will help you to embrace the different body set when you're placing your question, right? So flipping the side is an informal conversation which can happen every single day in your life. Your colleagues, your team members approach you. If you are a manager and if you embrace that philosophy of the manager, definitely you will direct him how to solve the problem or how to overcome the situation. But if you hold this sort of skill set, and if you feel the importance of the coaching conversation, really bring the value out. So you, rather than directing something, you will help to enable his own skill set to how to eliminate that particular challenge, right? So that's sort of difference what Khurram has said. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Good. So then it's there's another layer of coaching. So you can use this coaching as a skill in two more settings. One is called coaching for development, and another one is called coaching for performance. Okay, so let's take the first one, which is coaching for development. Coaching for development is if the person is facing certain challenges, and let it be communication with the team, with the technical team, communication with the stakeholders, communication with the management, or communicating with the fellow Scrum Masters and Agile coach. So that is kind of, you help them understand the issue, okay, and then also help them to grow the skills and the abilities. For example, it can happen that the Scrum Master who came to the coach, okay, with the coaching session, at the end of the session, the person might have realized, oh, I see that I lack the facilitation skills. Okay, I see that when I'm communicating with the team member, I need to improve my teaching style, perhaps, because I just put up everything in the PowerPoint and expect them to understand within the first 5 minutes. So that is not possible. So that is what is happening is the client, when I'm saying the client, it means that the coachee, they are like interchangeable terms that I'm using right now, is to client comes with a problem, the coach helps them to, okay, what are the things that you can do in terms of improving your skills? Okay, so that is for your personal development. Okay, the next is the performance, coaching for performance. And the performance is very much related to the daily things or the activities that we are doing. It could be, for example, if the Scrum Master is not able to facilitate that they stand up in a nice way, or there's certain things that needs to be done by the technical team or the developer, and is not living up to the standard of the quality, for example, doing the code reviews or writing the development itself, doing the development itself. So what is happening here, you're having this conversation, and it can be kind of a tag as a performance conversation, is how you can help as a coach, for example, to the developer to how to help the person in order to improve the performance of the daily task or work. The another important aspect is that when I'm doing the team coaching, I am with the team most of the time or all the time. And whenever I see those certain behaviors or actions happening, then I quickly give them the feedback as well. Okay, oh, this is good. With respect to our previous conversation, what if this is done in a different way? And if it's done in a different way, what that way will be. Yeah. So quickly summarizing, so these might be at first might be a bit tricky to understand, but the first one is the types of coaching. One is informal coaching, another is the formal coaching. Okay. The second is another layer we have introduced is are you doing the coaching for development, or are you coaching for the performance as well? All right. So yeah, I think now we had a kind of a 5-minute kind of demo, Abdul. Shall we do that? What do you think?
Surely, yeah. Let's check quickly what is happening in that system. How the audience are feeling at the moment. Are they feeling connected? Are they feeling relevant to this topic? Is anybody voluntarily want to talk about that?
Yeah, can I say something? Hi, this is
Please.
Nadeem.
Right.
Well, basically, right from the start, when it comes to the benefits which Khurram has shared initially, I believe that when it comes to the coaching, it always depends on the culture of the organization. When we talk specifically for an organization, that how you invest in the personal development and how you can make any of your staff member and give the personal development priority to make them perform. Similarly, when we talk about the formal and informal coaching, then it again depends on the Agile, one of the principles, which says the communication. How the communication in between the coach and the coachee is comfortable. Because if you can't give that comfort to the coachee, then maybe he or she will never come to the coach to understand or to bring up their problems. So yes, that is the formal, informal, and converting that formal, you can say formal coaching to informal is basically displaying how comfortable you have made the individual who can come to you for a help. For example, when we talk about, especially when two developers are sitting together, for example, we are following the XP development. When two of the developer, one is senior and the other one is junior, then they may come to you, then fine, this is a junior developer and I'm not feeling comfortable to making him review my code. So how you tackle that? So, that sort of coaching comes in. So the communication and the comfort level, how the psychological safety is basically, you have, you can say, you have given the priority to psychological safety within the team. So I think, yes, coaching is related with the performance effectively when the communication in between the coach and the coachee is quite clear.
Sure. Let me rephrase the question, and meanwhile, if the Khurram want to jump into answering that. Thank you. Well, I forget your name, by the way.
Yeah, this is Nabil Anwar.
Nabil, all right. Thank you, Nabil, for pitching in. So rightly said, there is nothing right and wrong. Whatever you have said, it's absolutely one of the situations which can happen anywhere. And the way you have described the informal and formal coaching conversation, absolutely, that's correct. So so you touched two areas actually. Initially, you touched what if the coach come in a situation and organization does not allow him to act as a coach. Surely that can happen. The second, is that something you mentioned, Nabil, right?
Yes, basically, I refer to the culture of the organization,
Surely,
how
yeah.
effective it is.
Mm-hmm. And the second piece you touch about, like, how to convert the informal coaching scenario into the formal coaching, that's depend on the coachee. Absolutely. So that was the second part of your question, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Thank you. Khurram, do you want to jump in, or you want me to?
Go ahead.
Right.
You're already into it, so that's totally fine.
Right, fair enough. Thank you. So well, Khurram, sorry, Nabil. The thing is, if the organization does not want to be coached, nobody can coach. The coaching conversation or the situation cannot be creating, or engagement cannot be happen if the both parties are not agreed. That's the discussion, or that's the scenario which cannot be take place anywhere in the world if your opponent person is not agree and he does not see the value what he's going to get out from that conversation, right? Or from that engagement. So you cannot coach anybody forcefully, okay? Because coaching is all about trust, developing a trust between two parties, and letting the conversation happen in an atmosphere where the coachee feels safe and secure, so he can communicate and he can speak up whatever he wants to speak. Right? There is a lot of details when the coach comes in the organization. He makes some sort of agreement with the organization on the leadership level, right? Even if he's getting involved in the team level or the individual level coaching, what sort of information he can bring it back to the leadership or the organization, what sort of information he's going to censor. Because every professional coach, he's bound to be having some sort of ethics, embodying and respecting the ethics of ICF coaching discipline, respecting the ethics from the orgs. So some conversation he can disclose to the organization, and some he cannot, right? Because he is the one who need to develop the safe container where the whole conversation can take place, right? So concluding the answer is the conversation cannot be take place until unless the both parties are having a right agreement, right? The second scenario, what you said, like from informal to formal coaching conversation, absolutely, it is the same scenario. If you are trying to convert as a coach the informal coaching scenario into the formal coaching scenario, and if the opponent person or the person who does not want to seek further help, because there could be n number of reasons. Maybe he does not have a trust on the coach, could be, or maybe he's not feeling comfortable opening up with the coach. Maybe the coach failed to create that safe container when the person could speak up openly or can express what he wants to, and he does not feel the environment safe. So definitely nobody can force him to be involved in the formal coaching conversation. But On the other hand, anybody, if he's the manager, if he's a scrum master, if he could be in any role, if he has the right skill of the coaching, if he know what coaching conversation supposed to be look like, he can turn the table very differently, right? The manager, when subordinate or the team members approach to the team lead or manager or the colleague, we usually naturally would try to provide some consultation. We naturally tend to provide some sort of direction. But if the person has a sort of coaching skill, he would love to ask some open-ended question and help the other person to find out the root cause or the solution with his own skill set, right? So I hope this what I'm trying to explain, it has some sort of relevance back to the question you have asked, Nabil.
Yes, it does. It does.
Thank you. Khurram?
Yeah, I think that's very very right question for any kind of a coaching conversation. And as Abdul also mentioned, this is a kind of when you go into the formal coaching conversation, that's confidential. So you're not allowed to disclose each and everything, as Abdul mentioned already. But the most important thing is that these kind of conversations are used to develop people, not to punish them. And if the Scrum Masters and Agile coaches are using coaching just to hear what the team are saying and then reporting directly to the team, to the management, that this person is saying this and this person is saying that, so you have already broken the confidentiality part, and that's totally against the ethics of ICF code of ethics. Yeah. So it won't happen. So the safety part is always there. I mean, for me, being a coach, I have been talking with several other coaches, and that conversation is always confidential with certain challenges. And yeah, so in a nutshell, I agree with what Abdul mentioned. It's important that we have a kind of an agreement. What does this conversation mean? And the safety should be there. Okay. Does this help anywhere, Nabil? Or
yes, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Confidentiality definitely a very important factor in between when you're having a conversation with the coachee.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So another example could be if we're going to a doctor and we don't trust the doctor, the person can give us a poison, or the person can give us a medicine that will cure our disease. Or we have to trust the doctor. Or
yeah. And when we set up Khurram, when we set up the agreement, when we design the alliance in the first phase of the coaching conversation, when we try to engage our client, there is a very, very important factor take place. Is we ask attentively the question to the customer, what sort of area you don't want your coach to get into, right? Because there could be some information which our coachee does not want as a coach you to allow me to ask those questions, and I shouldn't be asking those questions. And so the safety, building a safe environment and creating a right emotional field, those are very, very strong, a very core pillar of this whole conversation, how it takes place. Maybe the coaching conversation start, but when you define and get the alliance of the agenda, it won't move forward, right? Because there is some disagreement comes, and so it is okay to having the different opinion, right?
Yeah, nicely put. Yeah, so I think you will definitely, I mean, from my experience as well, if there is one thing I wish I could have known like 15 years ago, this would have been the professional coaching. And if I look back, I really enjoyed working with the people who helped me on my personal development. And now if I reflect, they were using all those coaching skills. Now I have gone through all this coaching education for myself, and now I can identify what happened in the past.
Absolutely.
All right, good. So moving forward, shall we do the improvise, Abdul?
Yeah, let's give a shot. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a kind of a small scenario where I am acting as a manager, and Abdul is my coach, will be my coach, and Yeah, so this is a total improvised. We have some rough idea, and then it's up to the coach how to help me navigate. All right, so it will be around 3 minutes, so we can just be mindful about the time as well.
Yeah. So quickly before we're getting into the app, I'm just gonna communicate to audience. We're gonna try to touch base like a little bit in each and every section, but be watchful and be mindful. This conversation, it is sort of formal, from informal to formal, but it won't be having the proper alliance, using the tools and action item, but we'll try to give you a little flavor from each and every area. So please watch carefully and listen the question I ask, what sort of conversation what sort of wording I use. And if you by end of that, if you feel you want to ask some clarity question, please feel free to do that. Yeah.
All right. So would you like to kickstart the conversation?
Yeah, surely. Yeah, Khurram, how are you today?
I'm a bit stressed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must be a late afternoon at your side, right? Yeah. So that could be the reason, or?
Yeah, the late afternoon and work and people and yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so what's happening in your system?
Yeah. Okay. So what is happening is I'm working with I'm working as a coach, and now I'm also a coach.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I have this product manager who's very busy. And I sometimes feel that I keep on saying some things, like suggesting, but it's like unheard.
Yeah.
It's left unheard. Yeah.
How does it feel when you feel it's unheard?
Yeah, I think honestly, it feels a bit frustrated, I would say.
Yeah. All right. And what makes you think he doesn't heard you properly, or he doesn't pay you attention properly? Is that something you trying to elaborate? Like there's a difference when you speak, you don't feel getting the right attention back to you. Is there something?
Yeah, I don't know, but our team is a very interesting team, intelligent people. So I'm sometimes I get a feeling that person is a bit not interested in the things that we should do for the team or for the product.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned two different things. One, your team is very, very collaborative sort of team, and you feel he doesn't pay right attention or give the right sort of amount of time to the team. Second piece, you said he does not spending the right amount of time to grooming sort of backlog. Is that something you have said? Yeah.
I mean, yeah. When it comes to the backlog, I get a feeling that it's Jira is the favorite tool, and it's a complete mess there. What I'm trying to help them understand is that the tools people can use, but we have to help them understand the product first. I tried different approaches, but then I felt like I need to vent out and seek some different views.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, sure. So Khurram, so you mentioned a couple of things. So what is the most important if you have to pick out of those two, spending the right amount of time with the team versus spending the right, giving the right, amount of time to the backlog grooming, or on that? So which one would you pick up?
I think what we haven't discussed is how our workflow happens.
Yeah. Okay. That's something new.
Yeah. So it's kind of a spaghetti problem. And so what happens then is that when we go to the planning meeting, it just becomes a kind of conversations, long, lengthy conversations.
Yeah.
At the end of the meeting, nothing comes out. And as a team coach, I have mentioned this a few times that if they're happy to continue doing it,
Sure.
but that needs extra time from the product manager.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, sure. Yeah. So time could be the one constraint, right? Yeah. So yeah. So let's see, like, how I can assist you, right?
Yeah,
And how I can help
absolutely.
you. Surely,
Yes.
I'd love to do that. So as a coach, I would like to create always a safe container, right?
Okay.
As for this session, and I encourage you to be honest and be open, okay, in your conversation. So then we can drive and we can move forward together, right? And if you're open and honest, it will help me to open up some of the areas and horizon where you can walk through, right?
Okay. Okay.
Is that something you okay with that?
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So what are you feeling right now, by the way, before moving forward, if I would say? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling more relaxed that I am getting help.
Yeah.
And now I'm also pushing myself out of my comfort zone. That, as you
Absolutely.
mentioned, that I need to be honest. So yeah, let's. I will do that.
Okay. No, that's beautiful. Okay. So okay. So are you willing to try some sort of tools which can help you to put in you the right direction? Is that something okay with you?
I mean, what I'm looking for is some kind of conversation.
Yeah.
No tools right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So what have you done so far to addressing this scenario or the situation what you've been going through?
So I have highlighted the challenge to the team. I have talked with the product person. Yeah. Even though I have concluded some facilitated some workshops, and it's still going in circles.
Okay.
I feel like if you look back 3 months ago, it's on the same position. So I mean, I don't know where this team or the system wants to be.
Absolutely. Okay. So and what are you afraid of? Sorry, not from me, no?
Yeah. Okay. That's a very interesting question, actually. So what I'm afraid of that when the annual assessment comes, I will be asked that as a coach what I have done. So you see, in any organization, people say that, oh, I have delivered this product, but the role of the coach is very interesting. All that effort, conversation, discussions goes unnoticed. So that's my concern, actually. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. So well, I see, like, you when you've been speaking especially on the fear factor, you've been holding your neck back there. Is there something holding you?
So that will be the neck. No, I mean, I think that might have some of unconscious reaction. Could be saving my neck from something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So saving your neck from getting, trapped, it could be you mentioned you are a little worried about your own performance, which could be get sabotaged by end of the Okay. So how do you know that whatever you are adopting in terms of the step you are taking, those are accurate and taking in the right direction?
I think when it triggers some conversations, some discussions, then I feel like, so I think as a coach, it is often to challenge the status quo. You just can't surf where the wind is, but you have to go in different direction. Tell them, hey, I have been doing that a lot.
Absolutely.
But then when there's some movement, then I see that, okay, this is hurting people, like in a good
Absolutely.
way. People are thinking on it,
Yeah.
becoming unhappy or like uncomfortable. So it means that this is a kind of elephant in the room.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. So you have tried a couple of things previously, right?
Yeah.
What could you do differently to eliminate or ease the situation?
I don't know actually, but one thing could be to keep on. Perhaps I should mix the coaching and the mentoring.
Yeah.
Like a two flavors of ice cream. in one scoop of coaching and one scoop of mentoring. Also give some suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
might
nice.
help.
Yeah. So sound like a plan, like you got some couple of ideas in mind, right?
Yeah. That's been coming from this conversation. Yeah, that's helpful.
So so how do you gonna make sure, like whatever the action you adopt, or whatever this it's moving in the right direction? What sort of parameter, or what sort of I would say, how are you going to ensure you are moving in the right direction? For example, if you pick one of the action what you have just described, yeah.
I think if it is helping people to be more open, then I think that then I will be knowing that it's heading in the right direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what is the shortest or simplest or sweetest thing or action, I would say, you could take start from tomorrow or right after this conversation, which can turn the table differently?
If you can repeat that, what are you trying to ask?
So I'm saying, what is the first step or the shortest step you're going to take right after this conversation?
I think I will just sit down and just try to reflect on this conversation.
Yeah.
And take out some action plan.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good. Well, I love to move a little bit more forward, but I see there's a time bar, which is clicking, and I hope whatever the conversation we had, it is valuable to you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for your time.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Appreciate. Yeah. Cool.
Yes. Yeah. So you can perhaps lead a debriefing, Damlud.
Yeah, well, surely. So folks, what have you observed? If I may go to audience from this conversation, what different you have seen? Like normal conversation between the manager or two colleagues versus somebody who got some sort of skill set versus the other person. Anybody?
I think someone who just came in to have some coaching. When initially he started describing his problem, the main problem was the product manager, basically. And then when you deep dive in, that basically also give this gesture as well, that he himself is afraid of his own performance as well by the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So you are just drilling down in and taking out what exactly the main root cause of the issue. Because if he is unable to deliver by the end of the day, then he will be held accountable. Maybe he's afraid of that. So the actual problem he came up with was the timing, or the not having a very proper feedback or the proper conversation with the product manager. But by the end of the day, he is afraid of his own performance. That maybe if he is not listening to him, maybe causing him his performance. So maybe this is the whole conversation is all about.
Indeed. Yeah. So you see how the conversation moved from one state to other states, right? the actual perception was different but when we started the conversation, it went to a different direction. This is what happened. And that's the coach is not some sort of consultant. He's not a practitioner. He's the person who know how to place the right question on the right situation. He's the one who observe very carefully and listen very carefully. When I'm talking to you, and in this conversation, something came suddenly in my mind. I have read somewhere, speak in a such way that other love to listen you, right? And when you listen somebody, embrace or embody, listen in a such way that other love to speak to you, right? So that's sort of a quality which every coach embrace or embody and hold it. So, and that for you, for anybody, it does not need to be holding the coaching tag. You could be a manager, or you could be a team lead, or you could be husband, you could be a father, or you could be anybody. But if you know how to deal with any difficult question, and how you're going to help your, the person who you are in a communication to open up his own potential. So you are there, you're coaching, right? So that's what the overall coaching is like. You listen carefully, you observe and ask the right question in the right scenario, right? And rather than dictating, rather than holding a finger and solving the problem, help the person to solve the problem, because he own the problem, he is the only person in this world who know how to solve the problem, right? So if he's the one who know how to solve the problems, what he needs, he just need the right direction. The direction, and he just need the right thought-provoking question to be asked, which can help him open up, to speak more, right? And so that sort of conversation happened actually, right? So when I asked, Khurram, you want to bring the slide back, please, so we can.
Yes, so I can. I just want.
Yeah, so I can link back the discussion what take place into. So if you might have observed, whatever the question I have asked, mostly my question was very, very open-ended question. I won't say the powerful. It depends, like how it landed to the customer or client or the coachee. But my attention was to ask the open-ended question, try to observe how my client is acting, and where he's looking, what part of body he's touching, because those all are unfolding. As Nabil rightly mentioned, Khurram started with a very, very different scenario, but it turned to be a differently. He had a different angle to his problem, right? So what I did just ask some sort of open-ended question, and you see there's a question which usually we start with who, where, why, how, when, and what. So there is nothing right and wrong, but you see, if you ask the question starting with who, where, why, how, and when, these are very, very close-ended questions. All the questions are same, but true startup look differently. For example, if you start the question with what, very, very powerful, always question turn to be very powerful, open-ended question, and will push your customer or client or whoever you are having conversation. Because I love to have all the time this question used in my family conversation. Whenever I interact with my daughter or my son or with my wife, I use this starting with what rather than asking who, where, why, right? Because those are the close question, very, very direct question. So I personally avoid, and because I had sort of, I love to and I always enjoy that sort of conversation, which help me to open up more interactive conversation with my family or my son or with my wife or my team and my colleagues. And these are the questions. When I start with the question with what, it helped me a lot actually. So the similar such what I did actually during my and Khurram conversation, I try using the what, and somewhere how. I avoided using the who, where, why attentionally, because very, very direct question. Sometime maybe your coachee or and if I say why, it could be the answer yes or no, could be right. Where it could be the answer is it won't let to drive more than one or two word, right? It where, okay, it could office. That could be the simple of question answer, right? But I don't want to hear this is only the word office. I want to hear more actually, so I can figure it out, or I can assess what is happening. Is that the problem what he came in the beginning, or there's a different scenario exists, right? So asking right question on the right time, it help you as a person. Leave it the coaching as a coach, as a person, as a team manager, as a member, as a family head, as a father, as a brother. Asking the right question will help you to open and figure out and discover the different horizon, right? So be mindful when you place your question to your team member, and the question, go with the open-ended question. Khurram, shall we move into the next slide?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you want to add
Just
anything? Yeah.
Absolutely beautifully done. Yeah, I think that's perfectly said. I can move to the next question. Yeah, slide then.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you ask the question, what happened actually in our system? If you have observed, when I have been asking the question, what I've been doing after that, I've been observing. I've been trying to listen actively. There is a different level of listening, but what I was trying to create, I was trying to create the connection between me and Khurram, so you don't feel disconnect, right? I've been watching his movement. I've been observing his face expression. I've been observing what is happening in that particular room where he's standing, where he's looking, whether he's scratching his hand, where he's how he's received my question, and whether he's going back when he's answering my question, or he's leading toward forward. So these are the situations which I was observing very carefully. I've been listening very actively. If I don't listen, that means I'm losing the connection between me and my client and my coachee. In the similar way, if you are interacting with your family, you're interacting your team and your colleagues, if you just ask the question and then you start looking right and left and you start embodying, you are not there, the emotional field will tell you that the person the connection is disconnected. So you don't need to tell. It will automatically, trust me, while you are communicating with your customer, client, or your relationship or system, if you are not connected, if you're not listening actively, your connection will drop, and it will pass the emotional message immediately, right there to your coachee. There's no more connection, and you feel he's disconnected, he's in a different zone, right? So active listening is absolutely important. You can't hold your conversation connected if you don't listen actively. And if we go on the next slide, Khurram, you will see right after asking the powerful question, and now you listen carefully, and you cannot leave your conversation without formulating and converting that conversation into some action item. That action could be small or could be large, right? It depends on your coachee, what action he feels he want to try, or what sort of scenario he want to adopt. But the action needs to plan out, right? So whatever the action you draw, whatever the plan, because the coaching conversation needs to wrap up very beautifully, like box of mithai. When you bought like some box of mithai, the sweet shop, they wrap beautifully, they put some sort of sprinkling stuff on that, so it gives you the different look. So this the same way you want to wrap your conversation with the action item, so the coachee feel responsible, he take the ownership, and he go and work those actions. Otherwise, it is just conversation if there is no action item, right? That's what we don't want. That's you don't like. So just imagine in your personal life or in your office life, if you have the conversation and there is no way forward, that's just conversation. It won't take you or your coachee anywhere, right? So be mindful whenever you start your conversation. When you ask the open-ended question, you're listening carefully, you're spending your time. So please try to convert that conversation into action item, right? By asking what sort of action we should drive, what should we make the situation look better after that, and how to bring accountability. Accountability is equally important. If the coach doesn't take the responsibility and ownership, he won't be feel accountable, right? Right, Khurram? Yeah. So that's the overall the different phrases what happen in the coaching world whenever the coaching conversation take place. So be mindful. That's a conversation which each of you, whoever is in this call, whether he been to us in a attentional coaching or not, but this is something which happen everyday life, right? I have changed my life a lot before. I know what been happening in my own personal system and relationship before, when I was not aware to this whole philosophy. But when I embrace this philosophy, I know how I phrase my question, how I connect with my family, my system, my relationship, and my teams. So definitely, when you need to embrace and to learn these skills, there is some coaching model exists, right, which help you as a coach to learn and explore this horizon. It's a different world, right? And the coaching is a different world, but maybe you will get that coach job or not, but trust me, as a person, as an individual, as a human, it will help you a lot, right? So some very known coaching model organization exists. A lot of different philosophy, a lot of different theories, a lot of different tools exist in the market. But personally, me and Khurram, we like some of them. We follow them. We try to learn every single day the way those systems work. NLP is very old philosophy, which two gentlemen, John Grinder and Richard Bandler, invented. It has a different, it's called NLP, called neuro-linguistic programming language, right? It has a different sort of flavor. So it helps you to turn some of the quick scenario into coaching conversations. Odds, which is, and luckily I'm NLP certified. Me and Khurram are certified in from Ops. Is one of the other model tool organization exists in the world, very famous and very known because of their tools. They have very different sort of tools and skill set which help person and individuals and coaches. Coactive, I never been to, but Khurram, yes, he did the coactive. They have their own sort of tools and philosophy behind how you engage your customer and client. So then performance for coaching is there's a very famous G model, a GROW model. These are some sort of coaching model exists. Feel free to explore these. Their website, there is a data, there is a lot of information, and learning these models will help you to be a better person who can have the better phrasing question, right? Yeah, Khurram?
You want me to say on this one or the next one?
Let's go to, I'm not sure whether you have, oh yeah.
No.
Sure, I think so. Let's quickly check the time where we are at the moment.
Yeah, so I think we can, we have a couple of minutes. We can,
All right, sure.
We can take this question, it's totally fine. So this might be beneficial for those people who might watch this recording later. So still worth to cover this, yeah.
Yeah, so we would like to wrap up again our session in a different way. Like we would like to hear from you. Actually, we want to open this platform to. So, what one thing, if you're comfortable and if you feel safe, please, whatever the language you want to speak, whatever the word you want to use, feel comfortable, feel free. It is a safe environment. And what is the one thing you feel might going to help you to from tomorrow onward in your coaching conversation? If anybody want to share any thought.
I always believe in there is a very fine line in between the word which you have also mentioned in a lot of time in the slide as well. There's a very fine line in between hearing someone and listening someone. I always believe in that if you are paying attention to the person who is addressing you, then you should be a good listener. You should not be acting like you're hearing them, but you're not paying attention. So just to give them the comfort, listening is a very powerful, God-gifted, you can say, tool built in the human being who can give a good comfort to the other person who's in the conversation. Then when we talk about the action plan, then yes, when you are having a conversation, there should always be the takeaways. Any conversation which you are having with the coaches should not be end without the conclusion. And if the conclusion is with the takeaways, that particular conversation always ended with the benefits of the coachee who came to you to for looking for a problem and a solution which you can. Although you had given, like the conversation which you had with Khurram, you didn't ask the solution yourself. He is the one basically who, after having the conversation with you, you gave him that much comfort that he came up with a solution by himself. You just try just to polish that this is how you can achieve whatever you're looking for. So this is the beauty of this coaching, how you can make the other person feel that, oh, I knew what was the solution, but I was not thinking. It's all about the perception. So again, the power of listening, how you mold the coachee to get into the resolution of his problems are definitely the power of this listening thing. And another thing, that when you start off embracing coaching, sometimes you feel like that this is something that is already God gifted in me. Some people embrace it, but maybe there are a certain individuals who think, oh, fine, this is something that is already inbuilt in me. When you look back in your life, having a conversation with your parents, your siblings, your daughter, your wife, your son, then you start having that feeling of, fine, this is something that is something inbuilt in me. I know how to tackle people. That convincing power is in me. Now, what you need to do is how you utilize it. So absolutely. Yes, as far as this one thing for takeaway from me here is how to be the more good listener when people comes to me for the coaching. Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, rightly said, Khurram. Thank you for pitching in. And absolutely, whatever we have discussed so far, trust me, it is exists in you. You just need to polish it. You just need to use the right phrase. You just need to connect yourself into the system and the relationship. You just need to create a safe container where your wife, your children, where your family, your team can speak you openly and honestly, right? And it may be a little harder for you, but if you keep practicing, if you keep embracing this philosophy, and if you trust, connection, listening, and asking the right question will ease the situation. Nothing better than this, trust me. It's my personal experience. The similar way Nabil has described, I strongly feel and strongly believe Khurram has a similar thought process behind. So all this skill set already exists in a human body. What is missing is just polishing and using this. We always ask the question, but what difference we need to make? Just use the right phrase of the question. Simple. We always listen when people speak, right? But what difference we need to make? Just establish the right connection with your family, with your team. I'm bringing family more because I'm a family coach. I do family and team coaching, but family is my favorite part. So that's why you might have seen I use family word more. So please use those right questions. Please listen to your family or your system carefully. You will see the difference. Trust me. All right. And action item is collective effort, which you putting your opponent, whoever is speaking to you, could be your wife and daughter, right? And you're trying to put them in the scenario and make them accountable rather than you held them accountable. You're enabling the sort of philosophy or thought process. Now you are accountable. Your own action, what you have just draw or you committed, right? So go now and do these actions, follow them, and hold yourself accountable, right? Rather than I should come or somebody else should come to make you accountable. So this is that simple. Trust me, right, Khurram?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I feel the same, have the same similar experience, I would say. And that's why I mentioned, like, if there was one thing I wish I could have known 15 years ago, this would have been the same thing.
Absolutely.
And I think anyone, let it be for personal development or for your leadership development, coaching skills plays a very key role in growing yourself.
Absolutely.
And I have been in Europe, just to share my observation. Many people take a lot of trainings in this one. And I don't know how much this is happening. If I put the context of Pakistan, I don't know how many of people are interested in this kind of skills development. And I really, one example, there was one person who I was doing some Agile coaching and using the coaching context as well. The person said that after taking those sessions, it has helped me to change my communication style. So it's like, it does help you one or the other way. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I think now we can wrap it up. Was this the last slide? Let me check.
I
Yeah,
think
go
it's
ahead.
pretty much there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So the next one was that we also have our upcoming courses. One, the CSM is kind of a flagship program for course for us. It's happening at the end of this month, next month, not this month. So if anyone of you who are interested to take it, or in your network, please do let us know, and you can reach out to the website asti.pk. And it's with Zia, who has played a very key role in doing all these courses and bringing more agile awareness to Pakistan.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So having said that, yeah, any last words, Abdul, for this session? I can
Well, yeah. So, Khurram, thank you. So, folks, the last word, what I would say, be mindful in your conversation, be open in your relationship, use the right phrase, use the right question. Don't let your system to go disconnected. Connect to your system. It could be your family system, it could be your relationship, it could be your team. And the connection can be established by asking right, open-ended question. Listen carefully and observe them. All right. And when the conversation takes place, make sure you are responsible to create the safe environment. Coaching is very much needed. Every single human needs the coach, right? I'm certified coach, but I still seek the coaching. Yesterday I was in one coaching session. Whenever I struggle in my life, whenever I got stuck, I need somebody who can ask me thought-provoking questions so I can open up and I can find my direction. This is how the human been made, right? We need to, the question is, it has the power to ask and educate people to asking more questions, because we don't ask questions actually. And educate people. Please educate your community. Tell them the conversation help you. Okay, so read material about coaching as an individual. Trust me, you're spending of 10 minutes or 1 hour time reading about coaching will help you. Might does not bring any change in your job, but in wherever it's the system you are, whichever the system you belong, your family, relationship, it will help to improve. Trust me. This is the last word I would say. So be mindful, read, learn, and grow. Thank you for participating, and hope my presence, Khurram presence, if it brings a slightly change in your in thought, and you go back now and read about coaching and start asking 1 or 2 open-ended questions, engage your family, right? Engage your friends, circle, relationship. Please engage them. They need you. If you read this material and you take it back without even getting certified and any label tagged on your chest, if you still just go with the simple asking question, it will turn the table in your family and your relationship. Yeah, good luck, and thank you for participation. Hope it will help you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And my biggest takeaway or keyway might be, take smaller steps, do read about them, I think asking questions, like don't go like crazy asking a number of questions. Start smaller, listen more actively, have an empathy with the person that you want to help, and I think you will get a taste of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Khurram.
So yeah, thank you, Abdul, for joining us for this session, and I think it was wonderful doing it together.
Indeed, it was
yeah.
lovely. I enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
absolutely. Likewise. So thank you very much. Looking forward to see you in our next session, and we will announce it on our social media pages. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.